this is tied to our kind of prevalence, mostly as women, for putting everybody else's needs ahead of our own. Right? You do this, or is it just me? We've sort of been taught by society that, and maybe the patriarchy, probably the patriarchy, everyone else comes before us. This is what good women do, what good mothers do, what good partners do. We fix the home, we fix the things so that everyone else is comfortable. I don't want to wish my life away, but fuck me, it's hot. I can't wait for autumn. I can't wait for autumn. I've said it. Demonize me if you will, but it is like 1,000 degrees in here, and I sweat specifically from the chin. So it's just fun. It's a fun environment to be in, and this is what I do to sacrifice getting a podcast episode out to you in July. Maybe it's July when this is going out. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Hello. And how are you? I'm good, thank you. I found something interesting about myself recently whilst getting ready for a funeral at my partner's family's house. It was a family friend. It was really sad. The funeral itself was so sad. Even when you don't know the person, oh man, I could cry thinking about it. Seeing their family, it's like weddings. I think you're reminded of all the love in your life at weddings, and it makes you emotional. And I think it's the same with funerals. You're reminded of all the death in your life, and it makes you emotional. And it was really sad. I mean, funerals are sad. I also noticed that there was a roof rack on the hearse, which was interesting. Why? Anyway, I'm not here to discuss hearses. But pre-funeral, we were getting ready, and there was 6 adults in a house with 1 shower, 2 babies, a toddler, 2 dogs. It was chaotic, and I don't know if I would admit this to my partner, but I actually found it sort of joyful. I come from a very small family. There's very little chaos when we're together. It's very sedate. And so this kind of madness was, yeah, nice for a little bit. For a little bit. But there's 1 shower, there's 1 iron. Everyone needs to iron everything. People need to shower. We need to eat. You know, it was a lot. And I was just very conscious of my level of discomfort. There's a level of discomfort there when you're at the head of the queue for the shower or for the iron. I was there ironing my dress. My partner needs to iron his trousers that, funnily enough, didn't even fit him after he ironed them. So that was a fun turn of events. There's his sister, her partner. We're all just here waiting for the iron. Babies are doing baby things, and I was there ironing my very large, lots of fabric dress and feeling a little bit of discomfort, and I was just very aware of that level of discomfort. And I think this is tied to our kind of prevalence, mostly as women, for putting everybody else's needs ahead of our own. Right? You do this, or is it just me? We've sort of been taught by society that, and maybe the patriarchy, probably the patriarchy, everyone else comes before us. This is what good women do, what good mothers do, what good partners do. We fix the home, we fix the things so that everyone else is comfortable. I'm sure you know people in your life, women in your life, I'm thinking of some myself, who they've made their lives about this. The lady who died at the funeral, she was 80. 200 people were there. She was a huge philanthropist. She was an MBE, the whole thing. It was glorious. And her daughter told a story about how he was in the RAF and they had to move to Naples from Yorkshire for his work. And I think there were 3 children. They drove, this is in like the 80s or something, to Naples from the UK. And her husband made them pull over regularly so that she could prepare him a full dinner that evening. And we all laughed, right? That's funny. It's funny because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Isn't it ridiculous? But I think it's sort of belies a culture that expects women, not to cook a full 3-course meal while you're driving across the Alps, but to, just gently put everybody else first. That's the way it goes. And I think this comes into boundary setting. This is a part of setting boundaries. Why do we set boundaries? Why should we set boundaries? Because it honours ourselves. It asks the world, the people around us, the folks we're in relationship with, for what we need, reasonably and kindly and with love, but we're asking for what we need. And then in that moment when I was ironing my dress, I needed the iron. Had I been 3 steps back in that queue, would I have berated the person at the front of the queue and asked them to hurry up and crack on? And I mean, maybe we were in a rush, but no, like, they need to iron. I'm cool. We can wait. We're adults. We're not toddlers. Would you want somebody to keep their feelings from you? Or would you want them to share them with you? And I had a really difficult conversation again this weekend, setting some, again, it's sort of boundaries, but actually it's more like, not requirements, but what is it that I need? And they lump together for me in this boundary setting category. I'm asking somebody for something that I need, and that's uncomfortable and emotionally draining. But what am I going to do? Not ask for what I need? And I've been in these kind of relationships often where I've had to say, I don't like this, or this isn't okay by me. And it's so fucking hard. It's so hard because not only do you have the emotional build up to having to have that conversation, you also have the conversation itself, which is emotionally draining, and then the kind of hangover from that, the vulnerability hangover, whatever you want to call it, that feeling of, I think I've maybe been a dickhead, or I shouldn't have said something, I should have left it the way it was. I've made someone feel uncomfortable because I've told them my truth. Again, I'm not here to say let's all be arrogant and let's all tell everybody uncomfortable truths all the time. Tell it how, how there's those people you've probably met who just say it how it is and upset a lot of people along the way. I'm not saying let's be those kinds of people. I'm saying to find a middle ground. To put your needs first more often. To ask for what you need. And to communicate when you don't think it's right. And it's hard. It is so tricky because you never know how they're going to react. I've had relationships probably irreparably change because of this sort of stuff. But I know that my relationship with my partner is better because we both share how we feel. We don't hide. We don't let these feelings kind of fester and grow arms and legs and become a monster. We speak about how we feel, and that's been a really uncomfortable learning process, but it's made us a better couple because of it. And I think it's the same with your friends, your parents. I saw someone the other day on my Substack commenting about something setting boundaries with her mum and how she feels like a bitch when she does. I think that's the same for so many of us. We feel like a bitch, we feel like a dickhead, like asking for what we need or saying no or showing how we feel because we've been trained for 1,000 years to put everyone else's needs first. So I'm sharing today this because I want us to be braver in setting these boundaries. They make our lives better. That's what I want to underline here. Like, setting these boundaries improves the quality of our relationships. It improves our happiness. And it asks us to communicate with ourselves, right? In asking, what actually is it that I need or that I feel? And how do I communicate that outwards? It improves the relationship we have with our own mad brains and then with everybody else around us. I promise you that. Yes, they're hard, and sometimes it means ending relationships or changing relationships. But what are you going to do? Sit in the discomfort for the rest of your life and maybe regret when you're older that you didn't say something or didn't ask for what you need? And I think when it comes to our happiness, our kind of way of making life joyful, this is imperative. So yeah, feel the discomfort and do it anyway. And, you know, if you're at the head of the queue for the shower, it's all good. You gotta just take your time. Don't rush. It's funny, isn't it? This desire to please everybody else first. Nah, it's once you know though, you know. Once you know, you know. And then you can see it when you're bustling around getting ready for a funeral or in a deeper sense in your relationships, right? Yeah, it's a big deal. With that, on that, I'm going to go hydrate and, I don't know, put some fan on me. It's so hot. Autumn, I am so excited. Over and out for now. Thanks for being here, my friend. Loads of love.